Hello everybody and welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Flynn and I'm here with our fantastic mod and guest for today, Johanna. It's lovely to have you here. Hello world. Got some fans in chat, which is nice to see, all the support. And we'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land in which we are creating and streaming from today, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Johanna, how does it feel to be in the hot seat?
Absolutely surreal. I did some push-ups to, mentally prepare for this day and this moment, but I am speechless.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a fun hour then.
Just me not talking at all.
And just sit there, be speechless for an hour. We'll just hang out with chat. Hey, speaking of chat, love to see all the support for our amazing Johanna. Anna is here. Lovely to see you in chat, Anna. Love your streams. Ryan is here. Amanda Jean. A Boy Toy. Yep. What's up? Cool name. And Anthony. Cool. And Tara's here as well. Bill Hope is in the chat. Lovely to see you, Bill. My gosh. Look at the support. We're going to be having a lot of fun today. Hanging out when it's bookmark design. You had this long list of all this stuff. So we're chatting about Johanna coming on, and it's like, cool, do you have any ideas of what you might want to do? And Johanna's like, do I have any ideas? Do you have that list handy? I think we were chatting about that before.
I do actually.
Yeah.
So
show it off.
It started, so this is my maybe once a fortnightly project idea list. This is one of many. This is page 1 or side 1. This is side 2.
Nice.
Which I then used to kind of prepare and sort of brainstorm for this stream, which I initially started with only 3 ideas, but then of course that list also grew to fill up the rest of the page. So full of ideas, very excited.
That's awesome. So next time you won't be coming up short for ideas, that's for sure. But yeah, we're here for an hour. If you're watching over on YouTube, jump on over to Behance, say hello like some of our lovely friends have here. Let us know what's up, how you're doing. Hope you're safe. Hope you're being well. Beginning of the week for most of us. And hope you're going to have a great week. But yeah, we're going to hang out. I've got a quick little video to play first. Check this out. Cool, that is the video for Adobe Max. I just realized, Johanna, that you don't get to see that, so you're probably just sitting there going, I hope I'm not on camera. That's a video for Adobe Max. Very excited for Adobe Max to be coming. It's happening in October. So wherever you are in the world, it's completely free. There's lots of cool people. We're announcing people constantly. Been working on this since February. Got some celebrities and stuff in there. Henry Golding is a new recent announcement. But I just wanted to kind of maybe each stream kind of pick one person out, and my person to pick out today is CJ Hendry. If you're not familiar with CJ's work, she is a Brisbane-based artist. She's Australian, living over in Brooklyn, and her artwork is amazing. So yeah, super amazing. This looks like a photo, but it's actually a drawing. She draws with pencil. It's wild. Even this one over here, drawing with pencil. We're doing that shoot on Saturday in New York. It will be 11 p.m. when they start doing that talk, when I'm going to tune in for that one and hang out with everyone and watch it remotely. And it's going to be a very, very exciting talk. She's great. But without further ado, let's get into what we're doing today. Out of all the things you could have chosen, we went with bookmark design. So why is that, Johanna?
Yes. So bookmark design. Before we go into it, I just want to let people know when I'm looking this way, I'm looking at the chat. So now that I don't have the full screen, I have a computer. So if I'm looking that way, I'm looking at the chat. And it's lovely to see all the messages in there as well. But yes, bookmark design. So as I was brainstorming, I was looking are there any, special days or holidays happening around the time of our stream? And actually, there was one. So jumping into title number 2 and also the cover page, basically, I chose Bookmark design because on the 8th of September, and I'm co-opting that for the entire week, it is International Literacy Day. And the theme for this year is Literacy for Human-Centered Recovery, Narrowing the Digital Divide, which obviously is influenced by the times that we are in now. And I thought it would, be a great topic and theme to talk about everything that reading and digital and everything is all about.
Cool. And I like the theme matches your wallpaper, like your background, your virtual screen today, which is very,
does. I
very
am
clever.
A designer after all.
Yeah,
Finn.
yeah, I can tell.
But without further ado, should we go into some example work to kind of get the lay of the land?
Let's do it. You're driving this thing. I love this. But let's do it.
Someone has to. No, I'm kidding. So here is just some example work that I thought would be relevant to kind of what we're doing today. These are just some recent digital pieces. You'll find a lot of black in the background, which actually used to be kind of the main theme in most of my work. So very black and white, very sort of graphic, simple shapes. But I've noticed that kind of post or pre or during the current times that I'm much more drawn to color and light and shape in a way that I wasn't before. So that's been really interesting. So these are examples of some of my digital work. I've also been, as my sort of essential service to myself, I have a craft hour each day.
Nice.
And one of my latest crafts is painting with Posca markers on playing cards. So we've got this, which we noticed in prep for the stream.
Let me bring that bigger for you.
Okay, big,
cool.
yes,
yeah.
That's excellent. In the prep for the stream, we noticed that the green of this Posca is so green that it pretends to be a green screen. So very exciting stuff.
Green screen fun.
Very fun. And I also have, there you go again. Like these and like this one, just really to explore shape, put down color, and it being extremely easy to just do that with the Posca markers. I've also done, and Steve, I'm not sure if he's in the chat, but he'll know this is the process of some orange slice earrings that I'm making.
Oh, very cool.
As inspired by the Greta Larkins stream the other day.
Oh, cool.
And what else do we have here? I think that might be it for the traditional stuff and my little show and tell. So let's go into the mood board for today.
Right. And your craft time, is that in the morning, like when it's fresh for you, or do you typically, is that an crafternoon situation?
It is
it an evening
It is
thing?
definitely leaning towards crafternoon, and that is excellent branding, Flynn, and now I'm going to steal that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, it kind of fluctuates day to day. If I'm having, a busy day like today, it's probably going to be a craft evening.
Right.
But at the very least, like maybe 10 minutes each day, up to an hour, I used to just, let it out, so to speak, through craft.
Nice.
I can highly recommend it.
Very good. I love it.
So let's get into the mood board.
Okay.
So as I was saying, I've recently, or somewhat recently in the past maybe 3 months, really gotten drawn into color and shape. Definitely influenced by the lovely Sophie Eleanor, who is in chat, and also Mark Conlon, who I've been checking out their amazing videos of them showing their traditional work and digital work and everything like that on Instagram has been fantastic. So the influence here was essentially, what kind of work am I currently making, which is very, simple shapes, color, bright, just nice and funky for that, serotonin hit. And then also, what aspirationally would I like to make. So some of these, the embroidered stuff, there's just sketchbooks. So just getting a nice mix. Usually in my research phase as well, I will go into my favorite place on the internet, which is the Smithsonian Open Access Archive, which just has public access. Just double check with the copyright before you use it, but public access images for literally anything that you could need, which is where I get a lot of inspiration with color palettes, just with drawing, observational drawing from objects, and really just finding out more about the world around me through objects and art. So that is something that I've kind of just thrown at Flynn at the last minute. So I don't have the link for you.
That's all right. I got the link.
I can later. You can find it. Or you
I can talk. I can talk and type. It's all good.
Amazing.
Everyone in chat said they were going to be on their best behavior for me as well. So that's really very polite. Smithsonian Open Access. I've never seen that before. That's really, really cool. I've just shared a link in chat. Check it out.
Amazing. Yeah, it's part of my sort of checklist of research. If I've seen something anywhere, I search for it on there, and you usually get, a plethora of different versions of that thing. But for today, I decided to keep it simple with a Pinterest board, because we are short on time. But ideally, I would, that's almost the first place that I go for inspiration when I'm working on something new.
Awesome.
And that's kind of the theme I was thinking for this 2-part series, of basically using what you know and what you've done in the past, and having fun and using that in a completely different way. So for example, you have illustration, we have cards like these, or you have, the stylized making a fish like this, something like that. And then you have bookmarks. So without much further ado, let's look at the sketches that I did. So you can see these are some of these you can clearly tell what I'm trying to do, and others are very much, just get the idea down so I know in my mind what I'm doing, and then I can move on to the next stage.
Right.
And that's generally my approach. So whether I am drawing on a piece of paper like this, or in a sketchbook, or just sketching out digitally, it's really all about getting the initial sort of feeling out as soon as possible, and then I can sit back and reflect and go back to it if it's more of a complex project, but really allowing sort of I guess the intuition to go first. And what you'll notice here as well that I've done, which I also do when I can, is I've actually researched the size of the bookmark, or bookmark sizes, I should say. And so the gray boxes you see on the sketch is actually the size of bookmarks.
That's cool. So you'll do that at the sketching phase to get the dimensions right from the very beginning.
Especially if I'm making something printed, or I'll generally, when I make a canvas, it's not that I focus on pixel size necessarily, but it's more, is it postcard? Is it A4?
Right.
Because I then visualize, okay, what will this object or thing look like in the real world, and how will I, present it when it's, done.
So it's like the relative dimensions more so than like scale to a billboard or scale down to a postcard or bookmark.
Yeah. Right? And similarly, like, if the dream of making a mural would come true, then I would do the similar trick of, taking a photo of the space and doing the sort of the superimposed mural in there, so I can get the size and scale and everything like that. But that is not what we're focusing on today. We are doing bookmarks. And to help us out, I've created these templates. Now they are in inches, which it was just the measurement that came up first, and then I just didn't think to change it. But of course, everyone, I apologize, and you can do the maths to figure out what this is in centimeters. But this is the sort of 3 main standard sizes that I found in my research for this stream. And of course, with the longer and wider one versus the more stout size, you have to kind of adapt the illustration or the artwork essentially to fit, because proportionally and where the focus is in your work, it's going to change depending on the size of your canvas, which makes sense. But let's see. I think, are you ready for the sketches, Flynn? You reckon?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any questions?
No, but I'll mention
so far.
I mentioned chat. Yeah, if you do have any questions, feel free to throw them in. If you're just joining us and you're watching on YouTube, come over to Behance, join the fun. Just a couple of comments. A lot of people very thankful for that Smithsonian reference. Again, one I hadn't heard of before. I don't think I've ever heard that on Adobe Live before, so that's nice and fresh. Bill, whoa, great hit on the Smithsonian. Anna, same great resource. Regarding moving from black and white to color, Sophie Eleanor says, yes, get on board with the colorful bandwagon. It hurts your eyes sometimes, but it always feeds your soul.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Sophie, you've enabled my transition into color, and I'm very thankful for it.
There you go.
But going back to a lack of color into these sketches, these are 3 that I somewhat haphazardly prepared earlier, that I thought we could, look at and refine. And what I would love is first of all, if chat can decipher all of these, maybe you can let me know which one I should start with first.
Oh, straw poll.
Straw poll.
So 1, 2, and 3 from left to right?
Yeah, I think that works.
All right, I think this link will work. All right, chat, why don't you let us know? Little straw poll link in the chat. It's probably going to arrive before the audio arrives, which will be quite funny. People are like, what is this link? Just click 1, 2, or 3, and then we'll just pick whichever one gets the most votes. And that's how we roll. While we're doing that, Joe, what got you into design?
Oh, asking the very simple and very short questions today, Flynn. I appreciate it. I actually have an answer for you. I would say that watching the Incredibles movie, the first one, kind of, it's the piece of, I guess, pop culture that I can really pinpoint having basically changed my life, in the sense that it introduced me to superheroes, it introduced me to, mid-century design, but also mid-century but modern. And really from then on, I was massively interested in concept art. I used to spend countless hours on conceptart.org or conceptart.com, I think. However, that site doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. But really having the introduction of how storytelling can be so compelling and look a certain way and really connect immediately with the audience was what really, sucked me in. And then from there, I've just been exploring different ways of storytelling ever since, through,
cool.
Pictures and words.
I like that. It's a fantastic movie, isn't it? Interesting. I wasn't expecting animation to be the path in, but that is cool. I'm learning new stuff about you. Very cool. Anna says, you know what I voted for. Bill Hope says, feeling snaky laddery one. It's a unanimous, more or less, number 2.
Number 2.
So
excellent.
Probably the more challenging one.
Maybe
yeah.
not.
Oh, okay. Well, let's find out.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to hide the other one so I won't be so distracted. And I'm going to lower down the opacity. Let me know if I'm over explaining too much, because I've never done this before. Well, I have, kind of, but this is different. So let's zoom in. So essentially the sort of the brief for this bookmark is bookworm. So I love everyone thinking that it's a snake, which it could be. I could do an alternate version with it being a snake, but for this, for the purposes for today, it is actually a worm. So sorry to burst your bubble on that one. I'm just looking for a specific brush And of course, I can just search for it. Excellent. Which is the Kyle's paint box. Of course, it's Kyle.
Of course.
Gouache Blair 30, which, look at that. Delicious.
Nice.
Very, very good.
So it's like a chisel point kind of thing?
A little bit. I would describe it as, it has, I love the varying in line weight that it has, but also it has that sort of kind of sketchy texture. And it makes it look a little bit more interesting.
Nice.
So, of course, we have an extremely rough sketch to begin with, rather. And so today I'm just going to be refining this further and, if need be, changing up the design, but really just preparing this for color.
Cool.
So I should probably just get to it, huh?
Go for it.
So starting out with really just the simple shapes again, and kind of seeing where I think it could work. Even though this is like the next stage sketch, I'm actually still pretty loose about it, and having a layer for every single element. And when I'm kind of happy with each element, I actually just merge the layers to keep things simple. So this is also why I don't name my layers necessarily, because they all just become one.
Okay, fair enough.
Quite quickly. But you will see, I don't know if you can zoom in, that I have named every other layer. So there is that. But let's get on the little wormy here. And just being very, again, it is still looking very sketchy. But that's generally what my work looks like until the last minute, unless I really want it to be a sketchy piece, or a polished piece, I should say. It does look pretty sketchy.
Nice. Yeah, as it should.
Throughout,
as it should.
Yeah.
Just go on. I was just going to check in with chat, but you go on.
Really at this stage, I was going to say it's basically just trying to get the shape, establish the shape. And obviously, I don't know if earthworms are this long, but they are in my book.
Bookworms are.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna roll with it.
It's a bookworm, so it can be whatever you like.
Exactly.
Very cool. Just checking in with chat. Interesting. Amanda saying no book, movie, or song has changed my life. I just collect it all, like Katamari.
I can also absolutely relate to that. Really, I mean, the Incredibles was an incredible and sort of really monumental movie for me. And if it weren't so far away, literally like 3 steps away, I'd show you the concept art books that I have, because that's also massive influence of concept art books, and Annie Atkins as well, which she was actually on Adobe Max last year, talking about graphic design for film, which is just, it seems like it would be so much fun, or just like visual development for film, because it takes everything that I love, which is research and doing iterations of the same thing, and learning about how was this done several hundred maybe years ago, and then making it into a sort of contemporary and relatable piece of work. It's good stuff.
Yeah, she's great. I almost got to interview her, but the timing didn't work out. Annie Atkins. Dang. Yeah. She's like got the coolest job. Like she's got the job that like I think so many like graphic designers or illustrators would love to have. It's like, okay, so let me get this straight. Your job is to create like branding, signage, and design in someone else's world in a movie. It's like incredible. And of course she does a lot more than that. It's expanded a lot more than that. She's part of the narrative, but it just sounds like the coolest job. Bill says, Ben Marrett's going to come and get you, Johanna, for not naming your layers. Amanda, I bet Ben doesn't name every single layer. Yeah.
Just because of that, I'm going to name my layers right now.
I've got your camera covering up the layers anyway at the moment, so it's cool. I got you covered. Literally. Anna has a question for you. Do you have a favorite subject matter to draw or paint?
That is actually a great question, because I was going to bring it up later on, but you beat me to it, which is great. Which is actually that when I do something new for the first time, or when I'm sort of trying a new medium, or I find like, oh wow, you can make this, I want to make that. I actually start first with, motifs and subject matter that I'm familiar with, because that's at least one hurdle that you don't have to jump over, essentially. So with having favorite things, it's definitely a lot of florals and just foliage in general. I've actually gone into, let's see, do I have them nearby? Yes, I do. Because ever the prepared streamer, I've gotten into making really silly fish.
Okay, why not?
So this is the sticker that I've made of just a super, super silly fish that I drew actually in the Notes app on my phone.
Oh, cool.
And then really just digitized and made it a little bit more fancy, and then turned it into a sticker. So I'm absolutely very much drawn to, the natural world, so to speak. And certainly a little bit more objects than people, although I did certainly go through a phase of I just want to draw people and faces. So it depends. But on any given, I guess, sketchbook day, usually it's shapes and flowers at the moment.
Right.
And sort of flowers can expand to what's it called? Plants as well. But ultimately, just depends what I'm feeling that day. Like, I'm also very inclined to just try something new, and it's more the style, or I guess the workflow approach that I decide on more so than the actual subject.
Yeah, makes sense. Anna says you really are very prepared. Amanda says, love the fish, so cute. Anna says, so flippin' cute. And then Anonymous says, so flipper's cute, which is a nice little pun. Very good.
Oh, I love that very much.
Bill's got the same question that I had in the back of my head. Thanks for asking, Bill. Where do you get your stickers made?
These stickers, do I have the packaging? No, I don't. I made them myself. Oh. So this is also a theme in my work. And obviously, I mean, I'm making orange slice earrings. That should be an indication that I am a DIY fiend. So it's just sticker paper from Officeworks. I would tell you what they're called, but I don't have it in my brain right now. But yeah, just inkjet, I believe, sticker paper, and then just print it out at home and then cut them up, and there you go.
I want to do a straw poll of how many people have a printer at home. I've never owned a printer.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I realized this, and I thought about this also as I was preparing for the stream, because I don't know, like, do people still have printers?
Let us know. Do you guys have printers? Is this a thing that I'm just missing out on? Like, because we're 50-50 between Johanna and I. But every now and then there's like some document or something, especially if it's like some government thing. And it's like, cool, just print this out and then pop it in the post. And it's like, what? Print?
I'm just imagining you as Robin Williams in Jumanji of like, what
What
year
year is
is
this?
it?
Yeah, exactly.
When you're asked to do anything involving a printer. And you can't change my mind. That is now what I see.
Okay. I think we got some printer fans in the chat.
Oh,
I'm assuming, Bill, by what on earth are you doing, Flynn, is because your shock that I don't have an inkjet printer in my house. And it says Anthony doesn't have one. Okay, I'm going to assume that means you do have one, Anna. Amanda has one.
I believe Anna has one, because I think she did some printing for Anthony very nicely. Of, I think it might have been her Patreon stuff, because Anna, as you know, Flynn, because I talk about her all the time almost.
You do.
Is a fantastic children's book illustrator, creative force, and has a Patreon, which I should have put in my show notes for today, because I was certainly going to talk about it, but I didn't.
I'll find it.
So if you can find it, that would be great. But yeah, she has a printer and printed out some other stuff for Anthony because he does not have a printer. And that's that story. But everyone definitely check out Anna's stuff. It is wonderful. And also Anthony, because he does some absolutely no, we're right. Absolutely wonderful toy photography as well. So Oh Boy Toy is Anthony's name for his toy photography, and he also has a Patreon, and everyone should check them out.
Nice. I like that. I did find it, and I have shared it down there in chat. Yeah, Bill saying, but I don't own a microwave. I don't own a microwave either, and I hate it. My wife was very anti-microwave, so I held on to it for a while when we first moved in together, and then it slowly got phased out.
May I ask why she's anti-microwave?
Because she cooks. She cooks all the time. So, she's like, there's nothing that a microwave can do better than it's always going to be worse than if you cook it on the stovetop or put it in the oven or, cook it kind of yourself, rather than the microwave kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm in a hurry. And as you can tell, we compensated and we got rid of the microwave. Because that's how battles go in my place.
Duly noted. What if I just send you a microwave for Christmas? You'd be like, sorry, can't do anything about it. It was a gift.
It'll be on the street for sure.
The council clean up the next day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see. I just realized that I'm doing something that I don't need to do, because layer masks exist. So I'm just cleaning up the lines a little bit, but not too much, because actually in part 2, when we color this bad boy in, I'll not really use the lines too much, because it's all going to be either solid color or it's going to be more rendered.
Right, so these sketches, this is still kind of a bit of a guide for you.
It is somewhat of a guide. I am finding that I'm wanting to make it pretty for the stream. But certainly at this point, it might be that I would just go make this sort of a solid shape, and then just go straight into coloring. But really, it depends. Sometimes, and a lot of the time, especially if I'm doing the line work of some sketches that I've done on paper, I find it really relaxing just to sit there and essentially ink stuff that I've already drawn, because I don't have to stress about anything. It is really just redoing the lines. But what I will do is go into the template and pick out the one that we are using, and then make a clipping mask Whoop, that's the wrong way of doing that. Nope, that was the right way of doing that. Curious. Might just move those. Why for art thou doing this? Oh, I know why. It's because I need to do or do I know why? Why don't I know?
That's what happens when you stream.
Yeah, well, anyway, don't have to focus on that right now. Essentially what I was going to do is, oh, I know why. Wait, no, I don't. Do I? Maybe. Just going to try one more thing. And actually, no, I'm not going to do that. It's going to take too much time. But essentially, I just wanted to pop this into the template box I've already made, so I don't have to worry about going, you know, outside of the lines when I'm doing the line work, to make things easier on myself. But I can't make that work quickly enough, so I'm not going to do it. And let's see, worm 2 is what I'm going to name this layer. And this is very typical of my process.
Okay, stop right now. The worm is done. That is the best little smiley face on a worm I've ever seen. Just needs some glasses and we're all set. That is cool. Such a happy little worm.
Happy little worm. Now let's add some letters to it. Are we happy with how? Okay, chat, I have a question for you. Should it be just book or should it be the whole word bookworm? Because the worm is already in there, so you could assume that it is bookworm.
Right.
And it might make it easier for today. I'll probably do different versions, but for the sake of today, I'm going to do a more succinct one.
Okay, cool. We'll chat. Yeah, let us know.
This time.
Just type book if it should be book or bookworm. So I guess if it's just book, you can make the type bigger as well, I suppose.
Exactly.
A bit more real estate.
Yeah, and a bit more legible as well, which fits in with
you can poke his little head through, their little head through.
Yeah. Let's see. And obviously, this is still at the sketch stage, and actually what I should or could have done is make this a solid color instead, but not going to do that.
Looks like we got a
doing it this way.
Bookworm, the full word.
Well, it will exist for next stream because I'm going to do that. Let's see, how am I going to do the K?
You can even think about it as a front and a back. It's like bookworm on one side and then...
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing too. Bookmarks do have a front and a back. So it's something to think of. And obviously with printing, you might not necessarily have access to double-sided printing or printing at all if you don't have a printer like some people.
You're going to be my new office work, so I'm just going to send you like PDF files. You can print it and then just send it back to me.
I mean, being compared to
all this
Officeworks
printing,
is probably
bragging.
One of the greatest joys of my life because I love Officeworks. So maybe we can discuss that after the stream.
After the stream. Oh, yeah. Cool. Just like to point out that this little worm poking their head through the bee is extremely cute. And yeah, there's been a couple of people mentioning that as well. I agree. Benjamin Lee, Chiban is in chat. What's up, Benjamin Lee?
Hello. Lovely to have you join us.
And actually, I think I'm okay to announce this, but Benjamin Lee is also speaking at Adobe Max.
Fantastic. You love to see it.
Very
it's
cool.
So great. It's surreal. How should I say this? It's great to like recognize speakers at events, and for like the next level of that, recognize that, oh yeah, I know them because I've worked with them, is surreal and wonderful. And I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Not to make this massive, wonderful announcement all about me.
I didn't take it that way at all.
But very excited. It's going to be great. Okay, so what I have here is kind of a refined but not necessarily refined sketch. It is refined. But what I might do, because the way that I was doing it was too difficult, is instead of, doing the outline of the letters, what I'm actually going to do, which will make things so much easier, is to do it like so instead. Because this way I don't have to worry about getting like the width of everything the same, and I can really just focus more on the shape and kind of see how that sits in the composition.
Nice.
And also be a little bit sketchy still. I had something just before that I really wanted to mention that I might have forgotten, but that is okay. Might come to me at some point. Sorry about that. What I will do now actually is put in just some very, very basic color, because I can see we're almost at time.
We are getting there, yeah. So probably about a little bit under 15 minutes left. Of course, if anybody has any questions or stuff, we're only here for another 15 minutes, so throw them in. Any worm-related questions, any book-related questions, whatever you like. And it's funny, once you started doing the BOOK, a couple of people in chat have said, actually, this is working really well as well. So you never really know, like, initially it might be, I was thinking bookworm too, but then sometimes you have to experiment and see, how things actually look and what you can do to play with it. And the only way to do that is to actually sit down and do it.
Absolutely. And that actually brings me to what I forgot and now remembered. The important thing I find in my work, and that I've kind of taken a little bit of time to actually get to, is just make it as quickly as possible. Like just make a version, and after that you can decide whether you like it or not. But it's so important just to try, and to not get too hung up on like, oh well, will this work? Are the colors in balance? Or like, what about the harmonies? Which are very important things to think about, of course, but can also really just put my creativity just stop, because then you get into potential overthinking of whether things will work and is this the right way of doing it. And so really something that I take into my process now is do it one way and then see how you feel about that, and then you can always erase it and try again. That's what I love about working digitally, and also what I love about working traditionally with just a pen, because you're limited to what you can do with the pen, because you can't really erase it. So what you put down is what gets put down, and so it just frees me up anyway to make stuff that maybe looks a little bit janky is a term that I love to use to describe my work at times, but it's less than about, okay, creating this perfect thing, and more about, okay, did I have fun? Did I learn something? Did I make something that I can use? You know, with the example work that I was showing before, it started very much with something as simple as this. And then what I had at the time was Posca and playing cards, and sort of I used that. But then I also tried the same approach in digital. And what was great with that is obviously the workflow hurried up so much, because obviously it's digital and I can just make mistakes so much quicker. And that way also like figure out what works, what doesn't, and changing my way of thinking about work. It's less about creating one perfect thing and more creating a fun body of work. Because that way you can really see, oh, I like what I did there, I didn't like what I did there. And you learn more, I find, as well.
Yeah.
By just make the thing. And I know there's the stress now to post things on the internet for everyone to see, and you don't have to do that. You can make things just for yourself, and I think that is really special, to do things just for yourself. And then the next sort of best thing is to then share it with other people. So something like this, where now there's a template and anyone can create a bookmark, and I'm so excited to see what people do with it. Or whether it is making zines or stickers, it's bringing your community into the work, which is something I've definitely in recent months, and probably at least in the last year, really realized how important that is to me in my practice, where it's not only that I'm making something and it's fun for me, but I'm making something and other people might find it useful, other people might also find it fun, and it might bring people together. Now, I know that is super lofty and cheesy, but I'm seeing that we're nearing the end, so I thought this is my time to be cheesy and goofy and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
if
really,
you can't be cheesy and have a message at the end of the live stream, then when can you? So yeah, you go for it.
Is it even a live stream?
Cheese it up. Is it even a live stream? Yeah.
But I think it's really important for us, not only as, you know, artists or creatives, but as people, to think about what are we doing, and does it spark joy, or like does it bring something to you as an individual, but also is there a way that you can take it one step further and you know, use it to connect with other people. And I feel like that is also, to do a massive segue and throwback, really what this you know, International Literacy Day and just literacy in books in general, it's about learning, it's about curiosity, is discovering new things, but also it's, you know, things like donating books to your local library. It's, you know, having a street library, which was one of the ideas that Flynn and I talked about to do for the stream. But maybe stay tuned for that one, guys. And really it's showing that you care through what you do in the simplest terms. And I think creativity and design, and whether it's illustration or a short film or anything like that, or even a coloring book page, is really such a pure way of showing to other people how much we care. Because it's, hey, I made this thing, now you enjoy it. Yeah, that's also ultimately what has kept me in design and kept me, you know, trying out different things within design, because I'm definitely, you know, a self-proclaimed expert generalist, because I like trying absolutely everything.
Yeah, why not?
It's Yeah, why not? And you never know what kind of connections you might make by doing so.
Nice. I love it. Or as Kendall says in chat, this cheese sparks joy. I love it.
Oh. My job here is done. But yeah, I thought I would also take a break in the sketch phase now. Obviously, there's still, things that I could technically refine. I will just quickly, super quickly.
Cool, because we only have a few minutes left.
I only have a few minutes. The face, we need to see the face. So this is generally what I guess, just before color sort of sketch might look like, where, the key, everything that needs to be there is there. And, the letters, it might be the case where I actually use, some font from Adobe Typekit and do it that way and then just trace that or whatever. Like the sort of the method now going forward doesn't necessarily matter too much because I know I have the blueprint of what I want to do. And so now really I just get to play and have fun, because worst case, I just revert back to this and try again. But best case, I take this and just, try every single thing that I can and have fun while doing it, and then maybe make something cool at the end that I myself or other people can use.
Very cool. Well, that's great. I think we'll wrap it up there, and thank you everybody in chat. I love the cheese puns, Anna. Very gooder. It's got me rolling over here. That's great. So thank you all for joining in and having such fun with us. And we'll be back on Thursday as well. So 48 hours from now, we'll be back with Joe on Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you, Joe. This has been lots of fun. It's good to hang out on the stream with you. I hope I did all right with the links, and did you well? And don't forget to check out Adobe Max. There's tons of stuff, and there's still more things being added. So check it out. It's all free, and hope you enjoy it. And we'll see you on Thursday. See you, everyone.
See you later, everyone.